Greetings, gamers. It's me. Me. I don't think I have anything funny to say, so here I am. Okay, music should be all good. Right. So, today, as evidenced by the... Oh, I pointed the wrong way. The text that's up there. This is flipped. When did this flip? Why did this flip? I swear to God. This is like, why does this happen? That was the wrong flip. Well, this is my life now. It's not. I'm gonna change it back. Fuck me. Right, configure video. There we go. I don't know why it unflipped. That's so weird. That's gonna start doing it with all the other ones. I'm gonna have to fix it on every other fucking scene on Streamlabs now, aren't I? But yeah, as you can see up there we go. It's the main reason it's flipped, so I can point in a direction and the image of me points in the same direction too. Or more specifically, like, you know, I can point left and this me, whatever. I've fucking pea brain right now. You know, I'm always ready for game development, but I'm never ready for basic human function. You see, that's my real gamer skill, or whatever the fuck. I'm making a barbarian path today, and the reason I'm doing that is because I realized I hadn't come up with what character option I wanted to do last night, and I thought about it for like 10 seconds and realized a hellish barbarian would be pretty cool. And now it's like, I don't know, like 15 hours later, and now we're gonna make it. This is how I decide what I'm gonna do on a week-to-week basis, because again, pea brain. I don't experience time. Time experiences me, and I'm just sort of confused the whole time. That doesn't make any sense, but whatever. I don't care. You're the boss of me. Okay. I'm gonna go look at other Barbarian subclasses, because Barbarian has like a very specific like design pattern of like how all the subclasses are kind of sequenced. It's actually very, very good for that. It's one of the few classes that actually has like a design pattern, and it doesn't limit your creative space, and is a very satisfying design pattern to go down. Not all of them follow it to a T, which is another sort of just good thing, because that shouldn't be how that works, like, ever. Let me just like... Right. So your third level feature gives you bonuses while you're raging. That is specifically what you get. Sometimes you get other shit at third too, but generally speaking you don't. Sometimes you do, though. They're usually fluff abilities like Warrior of the Gods, like you can be raised dead for free. Like, if you're really attached to like your character, just play a fucking Zealot Barbarian so they can't die. Like, as long as you have a cleric, you don't need any material components to bring you back to life. So it's like you can play your character for as long as you want, as long as there's a cleric in the group, or someone with literally any resurrection spell. And, you know, half a brain, I guess. So there is some ways you can lose your character by, you know, other players' general incompetence. But... So third level, fluff ability. Let me look at the Tasha's ones. There's Beast and Wild Magic. So wild magic gets beast just gets like one fairly complex ability. Wild magic gets a fluff ability and a really complicated ability. Well, complicated. An ability with a lot of words attached to it. It's not actually complicated, like, even slightly. You literally, when you rage, roll dice, thing happen. Like, it's probably simpler than most other barbarian things. It's just got a whole table of nonsense attached to it as well. Third level rage buff. Now 6th level, if I remember correctly, has a number of different things that it does. So 6th tends to just be like something that, like, some kind of secondary ability that doesn't necessarily have to do with just you doing damage to stuff. Like Fanatical Focus, which lets you reroll a failed saving throw once per rage. Bolstering Magic, which lets you give someone their spell slots back. Bestial Soul gives you just like passive extra abilities. Basically, 6th level is the wild card. We can do whatever the fuck we want with it. So stick the wild card in there. Wild card probably doesn't do damage. That isn't a universal fact. The Storm Herald, I believe. Is it Storm Herald or is it Storm? It is Storm Herald, okay. No, never mind, it doesn't do damage either. Never mind, probably doesn't. Specifically does not do damage. So then we have a 10th level feature, which is generally speaking anyway, is generally a bonus action ability. There's quite a few of them anyway, either a bonus action ability or some kind of fluff ability. I much prefer the bonus act, like a fairly dynamic bonus action ability. So I think that's probably what I'm going to try and do. Because barbarians just generally don't have bonus actions. Like, there is, like the idea that you can be barbarian and you can use, for instance, a, you could use a train of thought I don't have. You can use, like, 2-weapon fighting, and you can, because barbarians can probably actually get some mileage out of it. Most barbarians probably can, but you are kind of sacrificing not having Great Weapon Master, which for barbarians is kind of free, because Great Weapon Master is like specifically really good when you have permanent advantage, which barbarians do have all the time, because Reckless Attack is fantastic. Let me actually like math that real quick and see how that lines up. Let's say instead of a great sword, you're using. Hang on. Let me go check dual wielder real quick and see if it. So I always confuse. Yes, with dual wielder you can dual wield like long swords or something like that. So let me just like do the math on this real quick. I should probably DPR this, actually. That's probably a much smarter thing to do. Let's say the target AC is like an AC 15 creature. Let's go AC like 17, we'll say. This is like an 8th level barbarian. They have 20 strength for whatever reason. They obviously have reckless at will all of the time. Let's say that barbarian has a great sword and Great Weapon Master. So attack bonus, they're using Great Weapon Master, so the bonus is +3 at 8th level, which is really low. But on hit they do like I think like 17 damage. Yeah. And they have 2 attacks. That is an average of 24 DPR with 2 attacks. On the flip side, let's say that you're dual-wielding longswords. You then have you have +7 to hit. No, you have +7 damage, and you have +8 to hit, and you have 3 attacks. Your DPR is 27. So yeah, dual-wielding Barbarian is actually really good, and also way more consistent too. And also inexplicably tankier as well. In some cases, because you don't have to Reckless to do your damage. It's not like a requirement. Let's take the same character and put them at, say, like 20th level, right? Let's like say that 20th level. So a 20th level character would have +6, +5, 6, +3 weapon, so +14 to hit with a that is 48 DPR on that. And if we go back, this is not including brutal critical, which would enhance the that's 48 DPR, I believe it was. Um, 53 DPR on the Grow Weapon Master Barbarian. So on average, Grow Weapon Master is better, especially at higher levels. But obviously Grow Weapon Master is riskier. You need to you have to Reckless for a consistent Grow Weapon Master. And Dual Wielder gets a lot more out of crits, because, has more chance to crit. And if you're, Recklessing every turn, that is let me binomials this really quick. I'm just doing pointless math. It doesn't have anything to do with what I'm doing here, but I want to work this out because it's actually a really interesting thing to think about. So your probability of success is 5%, and so 0.05. You're rolling with advantage, you want 1 crit. So 1 or more, you're looking at 0.975, so 9.75%. If that is your percentage, and you have 3 trials, you have a 26% chance to crit every single attack action, as opposed to 18% chance with 2, which is, again, on a Barbarian, that's pretty big. So, 2-weapon fighting does definitely have a place on a Barbarian, which is surprising. I didn't expect it to be quite as good as it was, but I guess the rage damage really helps bump that numbers up and kind of partially offset the Great Weapon Master deficit. But pointless math aside, let's actually do the thing I came here to do today. 14th level features, to my memory, are kind of just whatever. Not in the sense that they're bad, though some of them are bad. They are generally other wildcard abilities. They usually, quite a few of them actively improve lower level stuff. They don't all do that, but quite a lot of them do, so... So that's the kind of progression that we want. So this is a Fiendish Barbarian. This is a Barbarian that cares about doing evil stuff, or not necessarily evil stuff, but fire stuff. That's specifically kind of the vibe that we're going for here. I also want to drink because I'm real thirsty. I've been talking really fast for like 10-15 minutes. Oh. Oh. Right. So, part of my idea that I was thinking about last night was having the main ability be some kind of replace an attack to do something exciting. How specifically that works, I'm not sure, but I kind of want to give it a go. So I'm gonna just template something. I'm feeling something now. I think I have an idea, but I'm just gonna no flavor text, no nothing. Not gonna be super stringent about trying to get it rules compliant right now. I'm not gonna write it specifically non-rules compliant, but while you're let me go check the rules for grappling. Must make a dexterity saving throw. I need to actually go check how does. There is a barbarian ability that cares about that has like a con-based DC. Is this interesting? Yes, it is. I think it is. I do need to grab something else. Oh, okay, yeah, I need to put this in here. There we go. Each creature you choose that is caught within the area. You choose those caught within the area must make a dexterity saving throw. Oh, that goes around you, goes around corners. While you're raging, use the attack action to unleash a wave of Hellfire. I say, yeah, welcome in. So, I say, barbarians are inexplicably really fun to design for, because there's so much that WotC just haven't done, that you just have infinite stuff you can do. The only concession I've found is there's not really a good way to make an interesting non-magic barbarian. I think I've yet... That's a lie. I have done one for a book that isn't out yet. I did make it on stream, though. That was the Path of Euphoria. I think I renamed it to the Path of Revelry, or the Path of the Revel, or something. But wave extends in a 20-foot radius around you and spreads around corners. You know what? No, it doesn't spread around corners. You should be able to hide behind a wall with this, you know. Each creature you choose that is caught within the area must make a dexterity saving throw, the DC of which is equal to 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your constitution modifier. Roll a number of d10s equal to your rage damage as shown in the rage damage column of the Barbarian table. I'm not sure if I need this text. I'm gonna red text it for now. I think it's probably helpful to keep it there, because I think a lot of people will be confused by rage damage, but I think technically it doesn't need to be there. It's the kind of, like, reminder text that I think is okay. I've spoken about why I think reminder text in this game is generally very bad. Like, it's bad for player experience because it can be very misleading, because it's never presented very well. But I think this kind of reminder text that's just like telling you where something is should be used very sparingly. But I think here specifically it's probably fine. I'm not sure. I don't like the fact that it's there, but I feel like it's probably necessary. Some people will probably be very confused as to what the fuck rage damage is. The target takes fire damage equal to the result on a failed save or half as much on a successful one. This ability feels very simple, but I do like it. I do really like it. So you can slam the ground basically once per turn and do 2d10 fire damage to people in a 20-foot radius around you, which is a not insignificant radius. I feel like it should probably be smaller, because I don't want to limit the use, because the power of this ability is not that high. It's, 2d10 damage is like, is nothing to sniff at, but it's not that much either. I could also nerf it to like 2d6 or something, which is probably a bit more reasonable. Make it a 10-foot radius. And 10-foot radius around you. Ooh. Or in a cone centered. Or extends in a 10-foot radius around you, or in a 20-foot cone that is centered on you. Let me go look at areas of effect real quick and see how cones. Yeah, I think Barbarian definitely has the most potential for it. You could do some cool stuff with like an Earth Barbarian and shit like that. It's not something I necessarily would go out of my way to do, but I certainly would not have any issue with it if WotC were to do it themselves. It's not the kind of thing I myself would go out of my way to add though. But 100%, like definitely something I can share a sentiment with at least. I'm not sure about this text because I feel like it's called point of origin specifically even. so I'm not sure. But I do like the idea of being able to slam in front of you and then also wave out in front of you. I do think D10s is probably pushing it a bit much, though, because you can do this whenever you want. It can definitely be upgraded to be D10s later on, but for now, I think... Yeah, that could be interesting. I am partial to them. You could do a Stance Dancer Barbarian, and I would be very happy to see that. That's something I would go out of my way to add, because I love Stance Dancer mechanics. Like, I'm not sure if I've had a chance to gush about Lunar Magic Sorcerer on stream yet, but Lunar Magic Sorcerer is my favorite piece of UA I've ever seen WotC make. Period. It's amazing. It's such a good step in, like, the direction of making subclasses mechanically engaging, and I am so excited to see what they do with it. Right. Beginning at 3rd level. Oh, there we go. Infernal Flame. Infernal Flame. You've got Zealot, which is probably the... I feel like... I understand that, like, what you want is, like, different to Zealot. But, like... It's something that WotC would never do, because Zealot sort of fills that niche for them. Yeah. Like, you could... I feel like you could totally, like... I would say you play an Azamar Zealot. You could just be Yasha, I guess. You could be Yasha with maybe less garbage stats. That would be nice. Because, goddamn. There's... I'm not sure who it's going to be in Campaign 3, but in every campaign of Critical Role, there is one player who gets the shaft. And in Campaign 1, it's Laura. In Campaign 2, it's Ashley. I don't know who it is in Campaign 3. I don't know. It's probably Chetney, because Blood Hunter is kind of terrible. But I don't actually know. There may also, none of them may get the shaft, but as the pattern has shown thus far, there have been 2 campaigns and 2 players that get completely fucked over. What do you mean? What did you never... what were you never able to get? It's like a... He reveals it later on in... But, yeah, they haven't really been in any fights since then, though I am a couple episodes behind. I've just been busy, really. So I'm quite enjoying it, but, I'm not, like, quite as fervently enjoying it as I was Campaign 2. It's sort of like, if I were to put them all on a scale, it's like 1, 3, 2, like, in that order of, like, from worst to best. And Campaign 3 is firmly, like, in the middle of, like, I'm liking it. I'm liking it enough to, you know, be a couple episodes behind rather than many episodes behind. And I have a feeling it could get very, very good at any second. It's very disappointed that Robbie has left as well, because he's like fantastic chemistry with the rest of the cast. He's so good. They want to do another sort of Exandria Unlimited one-shot, and that's... Nah. I fell off Exandria Unlimited real hard. Yeah. Yeah, he was just a guest. There was a lot of like sort of back and forth on whether he was or not, but yeah, there's he's been gone for like a couple episodes now. Yeah, they're doing another Exandria Unlimited one shot, which is like Exandria Unlimited was so disappointing. It was like I quite liked the cast, like I really liked Bria Iyengar, like her like probably not. The CR fandom is like turbo cancer. I don't engage with it at all. They're all fucking like awful people. I say they're all awful people. That's a broad. That's a very, very broad stroke. As with all fandom culture, the people who are super deep into CR or super against CR are just like personality vacuums. And yeah, they're both ends of the spectrum. Bad.jpg is pretty much at play. But yeah, I really like Robbie. He's fantastic. He's so good. And like the rest of the Exandria Unlimited folks were quite good as well. I quite liked Amy Carrera. She was alright. Bria Iyengar is like, her DMing style is not for me like at all, but I like her energy, you know. Yeah, they're I liked Anjali Bermani like quite a bit as well. I thought she was quite good fun. I've never really seen, like, she's been on CR stuff quite a lot, but I've never really seen her in anything. Like, I've never watched any of the stuff that she's been in, just because I haven't seen it. I don't really watch a lot of CR side content. It's just not really for me. They tend to swap out the cast quite a lot, and I like the cast. That's the reason I watch the show. And some of the other casts they get in are quite good. Like Exandria Unlimited has got a great cast. I really like them. But the plot is just not there. It's just really bad. So I fell off it real hard. And I just didn't care. But the characters and the cast chemistry in Exandria Unlimited is fantastic. But the actual story that they're all engaging with is not actively drags the whole show down because it sucks. That'd be Anjali Bermani. I believe that's I forget how to spell her first name. I know how to spell her surname, I think so. Yeah, Anjali Bermani. She voices Symmetra as her most prominent role. And Rampart in Apex as well. Yes, scanning through her stuff, she's not in oh yeah, she has a super recognizable voice, 100%. I think it's she doesn't really change her voice a lot for any of her roles either. Her characters tend to have specific modes of speech, but they're always just her voice, which I kind of like. I kind of like the voice actor that you can pick out immediately. Marisha Ray is very much the same, where you can usually pick her out. She's much more niche, obviously. But I remember every time I used to play Fire Emblem, I would just hunt. I was like, can I hear Marisha Ray? Yep, there she is. Just every time. because both her and Matt are in all of the 3DS Fire Emblem games, and I think they're in Three Houses as well. So we need a fluff ability for 3rd level. We don't need one. That's actually something we specifically don't need. I need to name this ability, but that's kind of irrelevant. So I like to do voices just because they're fun, and I try to do like mannerisms and things like that. Certainly with major characters, there's a character in the game I run on a Thursday. He's sort of like the benefactor of the group. He's their boss, basically. He's I say their boss. He's the leader of their resistance murder movement. His name is Mr. Blue, and he has a sort of fairly standard like BBC English accent, but he's very soft spoken and he chuckles a lot. He's sort of very nervous, and that's kind of like his demeanor. He's the kind of person to sort of nervously kind of, I don't know, chuckle to himself. In sort of a non-creepy way. I don't know really how to describe someone who chuckles to themselves and it not being super weird. But One thing I learned, which is really fascinating to think about, is the way men and women speak. Is men speak in the throat, whereas women speak in the mouth. So you can, I don't really know how to describe that, but if you think about it, you can sort of shift your mouth to sort of the front, and it sounds a little bit more feminine. I can't do it super well, but you know, I have a very sort of naturally quite drony voice. I've a very throaty voice. Whereas, yeah. I really like doing them. I find learning accents to just be a puzzle. I very much enjoy it. I'm slowly developing a growing entourage of accents I can sort of do. Accents I can sort of do are like, if I met someone who was from the place, they'd probably punch me. There's the accents I can do reasonably well, and the ones that I'm like, I actually have like a very solid understanding of how to do them. Like, I can do Scottish, like, quite well. I can do French very well. Just out of end. I'm fairly good at Irish. Fairly good at like a Yorkshire. I've gone from being pretty mediocre to being like quite good at Russian as well. I want to get German down. That's something I really want to be able to do. I want to be able to do Spanish, and I really want to be able to do Geordie. I really want to be able to do Geordie, because my family is Geordie and I can't do the accent at all. I cannot do it. I can't like place the sound in my head and let it come out, even through like effort, like actively going out of my way to like look up videos of stuff like people speaking with the accent, or just going to visit my grandfather. Like that's it. Like I could just go and do that, but I still can't do it. I'm just terrible at it. But don't know. Either way, I should probably take a break here because I'm really hungry and I want to go grab some food. So I'm gonna go do that. I'll probably be about 15 minutes. If you gotta head off, that's all fine. Otherwise, I will be back and I will be going until this is done. I may not write flavor text, but I want to get all of these abilities at least templated in a position where I'm like vaguely happy with them. I'll also be thinking about like sort of what I want this fluff ability to be. It could be anything really. It will probably end up just being you learn Infernal or Abyssal, your choice, and you have resistance to fire damage. Like that's probably what it's just going to be. I may put the fire damage at 6th. 6th I want to be something sort of exciting. I probably want to look at the other Barbarian subclasses I've made too and see what I can do with those. But either way, I'm gonna go grab some food. I'll be back in about 15 minutes. See you in a minute. Hey folks, I'm back. I had to crack a window because it was getting fucking hot in here for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, presumably it's because of this, but I don't know. What's the temperature outside? I don't actually know. It might be inexplicably super hot out there. Nope, it's 12 degrees. It is not even a little. Whatever. Either way, I'm going to carry on. I came up with a really good idea. And I'm very happy with it. I also called this ability Raise Hell because I thought that was kind of funny. Probably going to change it, but maybe use your Raise Hell feature. Come up with a name for these later. I need to go check the spell Darkness and how it works, because Magical Darkness is not keyworded in this game. Becomes frightened of you. Need one more. These kinds of abilities always come in threes. Because those were the two I came up with, and I'm like, what else? Ooh, I know. Quake of Malbolg. What are the other layers of the hells? Hang on. There we go. Terror of Avernus. What layer is filled with darkness? Shadow of Nessus. Invoke the Hells. I'm going to change this ability. I'm going to call it like Hellfire Strike. Simple. That is a fun ability. I like that. I like that a lot. I absolutely adore that. You can speak, read, and write Infernal. Additionally, gain resistance to fire damage. Devil. Devil's Influence. Fiendish Ascendancy, also at 6th level. This is all fluff, but I kind of like it. When your choice of subclass physically changes your character in a way that is, cool, like Rune Knight does it, it makes you fucking huge. In fact, by the end, it does literally make you, or can make you, huge, like a huge, capital H, huge creature, which is pretty cool. Okay, right. This is coming together real good. I like this. So 10th of all, we need a bonus action ability, something that we can do that is... it doesn't need to be a bonus action ability, that's probably what I want to do. Probably something, fairly simple, maybe. Ooh, here's a thought. Oh, I know exactly what this is. Yep. You can cast the Hellish Rebuke spell at will. Constitution is your spellcasting ability modifier. There we go. Now this. Modern problems require modern solutions. Get to use the technology from Monsters of the Multiverse. Vengeance of the Nine. This is real shit right here. Hellish Rebuke at will. Every round, it's a reaction, bam, Hellish Rebuke, fuck you. Like, every single round, 2d10 fire damage just on deck. That's pretty sweet. I'm gonna put, additionally, you may roll d8s for the damage of your Hellfire strike. Hell yeah. Real shit. Real shit. Let me just check whether the word exalted actually could possibly even work here. Oh, yes it does. Fiendish Exaltation, which is a fucking name. Like, that's real shit right there. You know what? No. By the time you... Oh my god, it's like... What the fuck? I'm only going for like an hour and 20 minutes. I've just sort of stumbled into like... turbo brain game design here. God damn. It's fucking ascending over here. Yeah, this is silly. By the time you reach 14th level, you can something. You're something. I don't know. I'm trying to think like I feel like it could be something really simple. Like a lot of the Barbarian 14th, like a lot of the Barbarian capstones are very simple. Like, I'm looking across and I'm seeing, aside from like, you know, Storm Herald and Totem, having, you know, one for, you know, you get to pick one of three, one of several simple abilities, but every single one of them, with the exception of Beast, has a very, very basic, like, one paragraph ability, and with Storm and Totem, you get to pick one very simple paragraph-long ability from a list of 3 to 5. But you only get one. So that stands to me that this should be something very simple. It should be something simple and obviously powerful and generically useful. It doesn't need to have a big wow factor. It should, but it doesn't need one. Oh god, my throat. Oh. Okay, right. So, No, actually, no. Let's encourage this. Hang on. Do you actually? Let me check Elemental Adept actually, because Elemental Adept may require you to. Yeah, the ability. Wait, no. You have the ability to cast at least one spell. Okay, that's actually really fun. I was like, oh damn, you know, they can't pick Elemental Adept. I'll have to bake it into the class. But wait, they do have the ability to cast at least one spell. They have Hellish Rebuke, which they can cast at will. I accidentally galaxy brained myself. This is, you know, this is real gamer hours right here. Yeah, you can Elemental Adept and pick Fire, but you have to do it at like 12th level, which is kind of disappointing, honestly. But it is pretty cool. So yeah, we don't need to put this in because a good Hellfire Barbarian will pick up Elemental Adept at 12th level. I mean, realistically, they're gonna pick up Grow Weapon Master instead, like, because that's the level that you pick Grow Weapon Master. That's just how that works. But it is pretty cool. Fiendish Exaltation. By the time you reach 14th level... There should only be another transformation thing like this. I'm gonna put that in there. It's like, additionally, your appearance becomes overtly fiendish. Your appearance becomes overtly fiendish in nature. But you and your DM decide. You sprout a tail. Crimson, you sprout a tail. You grow taller. So I don't want to just give them wings, that's kind of boring. Furthermore, Mega read. Oh, it's up here. I literally used it for the implant. At least I think, yeah. It works on any of your creature types. Additionally... Oh no, it would just be... Need to be a devil. That's just cool. Now, the main problem with this is currently doesn't do anything. It actually actively just doesn't do anything at the moment. So I need to fix that. Or I need to, like, add something in here. I could just put additionally level in both body and spirit. You gain the following benefits. You gain immunity to fire damage. Oh no, I can't spell. The damage of your Hellfire strike. This feels boring, and then there needs to be more here. What else do devils just kind of have, like, innately? Like something specifically all. Obviously, all devils have devil sight, except pit fiends for some reason. Or maybe it's not pit fiends. Maybe it's not devil sight that pit fiends inexplicably don't have. No, it is. It is pit fiends that just randomly don't have devil sight for no reason. Maybe you get magic. No, that kind of fucks on. That takes a big ol' shit on. I mean, maybe. Like, I think a lot of fiends have like magic resistance. Yeah, like imps have it. Oh, it just feels so boring though. I think this is probably a good place to leave it, so I can just like I definitely want to give them immunity to fire damage, but I'm going to red text these just because they're just not that interesting, you know? Like, there are a lot of barbarian capstones that are just much worse than this, but this is just boring, you know? Like, obviously you get like this big wow factor where you can go like a big, big devil guy, and that's cool. But I don't want to just default to giving wings as well, because that's just, like every subclass under the sun is like, oh, give them wings, and that's cool, but there's only so many times you can do that before you run out of times you can do that. However, on the whole, I am incredibly happy with this. Hellfire Strike is awesome, and I absolutely love it. Like, this is a super fucking cool ability, and it scales up really well too. Like, once you get to 9th, at the point where it's kind of not very good anymore, or like at 6th, it becomes more of a utility thing where you get all these other things, and it starts to kind of fall off, and you get to 9th, and it does way more damage. And then when you get to 10th, it does even more. It scales kind of weirdly in that respect, I suppose, but there's no scaling of this kind where it doesn't make it kind of weird. Oh, I need to clear my throat, fuck. Oh. I do like it a lot, though. It's like 2d6 damage in an AoE at will is not super powerful, but it is not insignificant in its power either. It is noteworthy enough to be like, oh wow, that's free. You can just do that whenever you want. But it's not crazy powerful because splitting up damage is not very good anyway. Like, it's the power if you get like to spread out a not insignificant amount of damage. Like, for reference, at the level you get it, this is a slightly worse Burning Hands that you can do an infinite number of times. Which is, when you put it like that, is nuts. If anything, it's added flexibility, and, it's added flexibility, and, the fact that you can use it infinitely, and also, once you have extra attack, take the attack action as well, or, still get one attack afterwards. It's probably just objectively much better than Burning Hands. And Burning Hands isn't a bad spell. It's like a C-grade spell, where it's like, it's pretty alright. It's pickable. So this is a really strong ability to just kind of have for free. And it becomes especially good, like, from 5th and 6th onwards. You can do all these other cool things with it as well. I'm super happy with this, like, on a flavor level. This might need nerfing a bit. I'm not super happy with this here, but on principle, I fucking love this. This is super cool. Like, I can think of like a handful of players in my home game that would just auto pick this, like just because they think it's cool. And like that's what most players care about, right? Like I give a shit about like the numbers and like how mechanically satisfying something is, but like if it's cool, people are gonna pick it. So it is on my head. That's all I have to say on it. I possess hair. So I need flavor text. I think because normally I don't bother with flavor text with this, but I think I'm gonna here just because it's like 6:30. You know. Normally I'd be finishing at like 7 o'clock, and I've just sort of blasted through all of this in like an hour and a half and just sort of templated out an entire fucking subclass, which is pretty sweet. So, Path of Hellfire. Let me go read the other Barbarian subclass things. Like fluff, text, nonsense. They generally give about 2 paragraphs. The strength of devils. Willingly or otherwise, tapping into the strength of devils. To fuel their battle prowess. Such a barbarian may have gained their strength. A fiendish pact. Or a fiendish pact. A diabolic scar that never heals. Such as a fiendish wound. Just copying this from Beast, just because that's cool. Origin of Hellfire. Oh, it would be Origin of the Hellfire. No, Origin of Hellfire. That's. I just like using the word Hellfire. It's a very satisfying word to say. I've gained a scrap of their power. Need one more. Or maybe, ooh. And their blood flared within you upon your... Essence flared within you. Yeah, no, I'm happy with that. That's cool. They're simple. Like, but I quite like them. Like, I'm gonna start work on some other stuff, I guess. Like, I want to go until at least sort of like just before 7 or so, because that's usually around the time that I finish. Okay. Let's nab. Let's make some feats. I got one I want to do anyway. Probably 2. Actually, I think I've got one on my mind at the moment, and it is an alternative to. Oh no, I'm in the wrong section. Okay, there we go. Oh, there we are. Where is Fey Touched? There we go. Fiend Touched. Where's Shadow Touched on here? Where's Shadow Touched? Right. So I need to look at spells. Specifically, 2nd level spells. That could work for a Fiendish character. And it's not going to be Darkness, because that's what Shadow Touched gives you. Agonaz's Scorcher. And it needs to be, like, thematically useful, I guess, is the main thing. Or it needs to be useful for, like, any character. Like, Darkness is just, like, an okay spell, and Fey Touch gives you Misty Step, which is, like, straight up one of the best spells in the game. It needs to be on that kind of level. Oh, nice. So, welcome in. I sort of bashed out a whole fucking Barbarian subclass in like an hour and a half. Now sort of working on feats and sort of chatting nonsense for a little bit. Last week I made some little implants. They're imp goblins. It's pretty self-explanatory, really. They explode, do other stuff. Mostly explode, though. In a non-lethal capacity. Could give them pyrotechnics. I'm not going to do that. I don't hate myself quite that much. Okay. Kinetic Jaunt. Heat Metal. That's maybe one. Oh no, Shadow Touch gives you invisibility. It doesn't give you darkness, so I can fall back on darkness if need be. I guess the main thing is darkness evocation. Probably is, right? It is. I can go back to darkness if need be. Cloud of Daggers, Branding Smite. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go for darkness, to be fair, just for the sake of simplicity. Like, this is like, it's pretty easy content, just because like there should be Celestial Touched and Fiend Touched like as things, and they just don't exist. But oh, got my back. Oh, there we go. Also, for warlocks out there, pick up feats like this, Shadow Touched and Fey Touched. I mean, it's like being a warlock, but you get a free spell, and you get an extra free spell per day, which is something the warlocks just don't have and really struggle for. My warlock character, who is a Vuman, admittedly, is a 6th level character and has both Fey Touched and Shadow Touched because it's flavorful for her to have both. And it just nets me 4 free spells, and all of which I can cast once per day for free. So I get to pick up Hex for free, and I never have to waste a spell slot on Hex. Or at least I don't have to do it, unless I'm in 2 fights a day, I don't have to waste 2 spell slots on Hex. The same goes for Misty Step as well, which is like an amazing spell that you don't really want to waste a spell slot on as a warlock. But again, getting it for free kind of solves that problem. It's good shit. I don't have any like explicit like other things that I want to pick up for what like feats I want to make. Races wise, I don't think I'm probably going to make any other like fiendish races. I feel like the Imblin kind of fills the only real niche there is, you know, small tieflings that aren't tieflings. Like they very specifically are not tieflings. But I think next time, it's probably going to be the last one of these streams, I am going to look at potentially doing a Fiendish Sorcerer. I don't know if that's something I'm going to do, but I think that's something I might try to do. It's one of those things where making a Fiendish Sorcerer that feels like something that isn't just Draconic Sorcerer, but Eviler, or Tieflings the class, which is a very difficult balance to strike, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, frankly. But I'm going to give it a go. But Path of Hellfire, I love. I absolutely love this. This is fantastic. I'm really happy with this. I'll write that down. But yeah, I think I might leave that there. Probably head off now, just because, like, I'm not gonna like generate more shit to do whilst I'm just kind of sat here, because I want to have like a week to sort of sit down and think about like stuff like that. Next week is the 28th. Okay, right. I was thinking it was next, like in a couple weeks I wasn't around, but no. As sort of a generic heads up, in the next couple of weeks, there will be sans a Friday and a Monday stream. Both Friday the 8th and Monday the 11th. I will not be streaming. Because I could probably stream on Monday the 11th, but I will have just gotten back from like a 6-hour drive, and I don't really want to do that. I don't want to be beholden to that. If anything, I probably won't have just gotten back. I probably won't be back yet at around like 5 o'clock. I'll probably be very nearly home though. But yeah, I am going away that weekend. And I'll like there won't be streams then, basically. It's pretty simple, in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, I'm going to head off here. Hope folks have enjoyed themselves. On Wednesday, I'll be playing some more Pokemon Sword. On Friday, I'll be playing some more Skyward Sword. And yeah, next week I'll come back, and assuming I haven't scrapped the idea entirely, I'll be toying around with a Fiendish Sorcerer of some kind. I don't know specifically how that's going to go. I don't know whether I'm going to scrap it. I might get halfway through and decide that this isn't going to work, and I'm just going to throw it in the bin. But when when you do themed things like this, you kind of want to have 2 subclasses. That's like the bare minimum, right? Because just one feels like you haven't really bothered, and having 2 is kind of like the optimal. Like Van Richten's, for instance, Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft, it has 2 sort of Ravenlofty subclasses. It has Spirit's Bard and the other one. What is the other one? I don't know. I'm gonna go look it up. I don't remember. Rules. Hang on. VRGR. Character creation. There's the 3 there's the 3 lineages. There's the gifts, subclass option. Oh, it's Undead Warlock, yes. And if they'd wanted to, they could have sort of held back Phantom for about, like, 4 months and printed it in this book as well, but instead they put it in Tushes instead, which is fair enough. But yeah, I guess, like, that's gonna be something I'm like, oh, I want to try and get to, you know. Like, I'm doing like this big themed series. I want to do like pretty good. Sadly, you have just tuned in as I was about to finish, but it's gone very, very well. I finished this entire subclass, this Barbarian Path of Hellfire, in like an hour and a half, and then made this one feat. Admittedly, the feat was like it's just fey touched, but with the details changed, because that's how those feats work. But yeah, I have a few things I want to sort of look at again with this subclass. It's like Hellfire Strike might be legit super strong. I don't know. It might be too good. It's not too good where I will have to get rid of it, but I may have to, like, you know, I may have to put it on a limited number of uses, which I don't really want to do, but I might have to do it. Or I might have to just like reduce this to D4s or something, or change the scaling. Oh, yeah, the emblems were great fun. They were super good fun. I'm very happy with them. I'll be getting some art for them at some point. Probably not until like later on this year though. And then Path of Hellfire is like, I like this. I like the subclass quite a bit. But yeah, so I'm going to be heading off there. Hope folks have enjoyed themselves. I will, as said, Wednesday Sword, Friday Skyward Sword, and yeah, on Monday I'm going to come back and I'm going to see. You'll probably find out pretty quickly whether I threw the Fiendish Sorcerer idea in the bin, because I would like to do it, but I need to find an angle where I can come at it where it's not just Draconic Bloodline Sorcerer but evil, or Tiefling the class. Because both of those would be super boring, and I don't want to do them. So I'm going to come up with something. Either way, until then, I'll see ya.